All right, welcome back to the Buddy Show, where once again we are prime time, coast to coast, border to border, and coming to you again from beautiful Cebu City in the Philippines. I'm here for a few more weeks, then I'm going home. Now, I guess it took me to move here to realize how much I love Thailand. But going to Jomtien Beach in Thailand, where I hope to do more videos. First of all, I'll be more comfortable, I think, and I'll be back at the ocean. I grew up near the ocean, and my career was in Plymouth, Massachusetts, which is right on the water. My last position there was as manager of Mayflower II, which is a big reproduction of a 16th century merchant ship, if you know the Pilgrim story. If not, I'm not going into it right now. All right, so I had a request from a viewer, John, and I hope you're a subscriber, John. And while I'm on that, please like and subscribe to my channel so I can grow it a little bit bigger, give you more impetus and inspiration to keep making these videos for you, particularly those of you who aren't an expat yet. It will be a unique experience for you. And John asked me, and I had intended to do this anyway, but John asked me to do a comparison, between age gap relationships in the Philippines and in Thailand. And I have had some interaction with women in both countries. We'll leave it at that. Where's my notes? Okay, so let me talk about the Philippines first of all. And this opinion may not be popular with some people, but I'm a straight shooter, and I'm here to tell you the truth and not sugarcoat it for you. If you want bullshit, go elsewhere. So I think age gap relationships, age gap dating is easier here in the Philippines. And that's because of the very big differences between the two cultures. There's huge differences between the two cultures. The unpopular opinion is that, and I don't think I'm alone in this feeling, is that there is a sense of desperation here amongst Filipinas. Many of them live in abject poverty. It is a very class-structured society that is very apparent living in this condo building, and as I mentioned in my last video, and I see a lot of age gap relationships here, foreigners with Filipinas, some gorgeous Filipinas with some butt freaking ugly men. Now that said, I don't think that money is the only issue. I think it is a big issue. I'm not going to sugarcoat that for you. It's not that you're just a meal ticket. I think if you find a good Filipina, she will truly love you and take care of you, regardless of, if you're bald, if you have a beard, if you're fat, if you're ugly. I've seen it all here. My experience in Thailand is strictly Chiang Mai, and Chiang Mai is very different. Chiang Mai is in the north of Thailand. It's the second largest city in Thailand, but it's a small city feeling. It's very, very homey. What I didn't like about it, as I mentioned in my last video, was the ungodly amount of young hippie backpackers. I mean, some of them, I'm 66, so I'm probably not the best judge, but some of them look like they were preteens. I know many of you would like that, and I'd rather you not mention it because that's disgusting. So yeah, it's not that I don't want to be around other expats. I do, but like for example, if I was walking down the street in Chiang Mai and a pretty girl caught my eye, and I looked at her and smiled, she would smile back. Does that mean she was interested in me? Maybe, maybe not. Here, I'll get into this. Here, it's very different. But I mean, like being back in the West, if you look at a pretty girl who is your daughter's age or your granddaughter's age, and I've seen it, they're not going to give you a second look. Why would they? unless you're George Clooney or somebody like that, somebody famous and rich. You don't even have to be famous if you're rich, but if you have both, then you're golden. In like Flynn, as my father's generation used to say. So I know that may be an unpopular opinion, that that desperation drives love or drives relationships. I don't think it's unique here in the Philippines. I don't think it's unique here in Southeast Asia. I would say, not having enough experience to do so, that age gap relationships are probably much more common in all of Southeast Asia than they are in the West. The difficulty is again, is culture and language. I think you'll see in Vietnam, for instance, it's a very, very much more, my brief experiences, listening to other expats, much more reserved and tight-knit culture. And obviously there's the language issue. I have likened dating here, or the potential of dating, and again, I don't mean to be rude, but like shooting fish in a barrel. If you walk anywhere here, and again, I live in a big city, in the mall, down the street, and you catch a pretty woman's eye, she's going to look back at you. I mean, even if she's not so pretty, even if she's not so young, she's going to look back at you because you offer the potential of a better life. And that's really what they're looking for. Filipinas, I find, and I'm finding it now that I'm back on Thai dating sites, they really rush into relationships. It's not something for me as an American that I'm used to. When I was younger, yeah, I was a lot more desperate. Just want to get laid. But even now, I chatting with some of the women in Pattaya, Jomtien, on the dating site. I'm going to get into online dating in a minute. I know I have before, but I'm going to do a little bit of a primer for those of you who may not have as much game as you did, or maybe you never did. Maybe you were never successful with women. Here you can be. But I'll get into that in a minute. Where was I? Oh, online dating. Yes. So anyway, I noticed that they will quickly, like one woman. Again, we've only been chatting, and we haven't even done face-to-face video. Chat, which I highly recommend. You never know. It could be some guy named Sergey, or Ahmed, who's really at the other side of that photograph you're looking at. I had an example of that. This person contacted me and vaguely recognized the name, but not the photo. So I ignored it, which if I haven't already contacted them, I ignore it. They're scammers. And a couple of days later, that photo changed from a very attractive Asian woman to a not so attractive foreign man. So be careful. Always be careful. Double check. And that goes for lady boys too. So shooting fish in a barrel, yeah. If your only goal is to meet, date, lay, whatever, I'm not going to judge you. Younger women, then the Philippines is probably going to be much easier for you, simply because of the language. As I mentioned, not that all Filipinos speak very good English. Many of them don't. And that comes down to looks. Next thing on my notes. Looks. So so their looks. Both Filipinas and Thai women and Balinese and Indonesian women when I lived in Bali. Women are Indian women who I've never dated. Women are gorgeous here. Utterly gorgeous. And, there's a joke about Filipinas being the least endowed boob-wise in the world. That's not universally true, nor in Thailand. And I'll talk about this when we get to the online dating. Obviously, language. There you will find. Again, I have said this in the past. I have had really very little issue with languages in Bali, in Mexico, in Thailand, here, my brief stay, 3 days, 3 nights in Vietnam, there's always somebody that will speak English. Don't let the language barrier be a barrier for you, because it simply is not, or doesn't have to be. So I've gone through those lists. Thai women, the Thai culture as a whole, in my opinion, my experience in Chiang Mai, is more reserved. It's not that you can't find a woman fairly easily or quickly, but probably not quite as easily or quickly, unless you focus on women, as I am doing, in their 40s, early 40s, late 30s. Those women are considered here past their prime, and they've gone through hell with a relationship with someone from their own country, likely, often. You'll find that often, and they're, I wouldn't say bitter to me about it, bitter to you about it, but they don't want to do it anymore. They just don't trust Thai men, or they don't trust Filipinos, and with good cause. Many of them get the women pregnant and leave, and then they just leave. I mean, I'm speaking to this one woman, and that's what she said. No, she said, I said, well, when was the last time your child saw her father? Never. Never saw him. No support. Never saw him. That's sad to me. My daughter's mother, my first ex-wife, and I were dating, and she got pregnant pretty much the first time we slept together, and then she told me, oh, I'm pregnant. Oh, God, you're crazier than a shithouse rat. But I'm going to marry you because you're going to have my child. She was intent on having our child, and I'm glad, because I love my daughter to death. But I was determined to marry her and give my child my last name, and to be in her life always. And that holds true even today, 37 years later. We're very, very close. But there is good reason, as I say, for some of these women to be bitter about their countrymen. And so they go on dating sites, particularly to look for a foreigner. And that foreigner might be you. I would say Thai women are more independent, which is a good thing. I mean, you know, I want someone with a job. I mean, a lot of times here in the Philippines, on their dating profiles, a woman will come right out and say, I'm looking for a man to support me and my children. Okay, well, look elsewhere, because I'm not him. And it's not that I will never be him, but I'm happy that you put that out front ahead of time, because it culls the herd for me. If you come to the Philippines and want a woman without children, good luck. Good luck. There are women here 18 years old that already have 3 children. There's many women here, single mothers, that have 1 child. And I have friends who date and marry women who have 1 child, even more children at times. And there's nothing wrong with that. What's important is if when you find someone who you fall in love with and falls in love with you, and you have a committed relationship to one another, and you can afford a family, why not? Why not? It's up to you. So now we've come to dating sites. So I went on dating sites not originally to find a date. I originally went on to Date in Asia, which I think is the easiest dating site here, and you're going to get women from all over Southeast Asia. And as long as you play by the rules and don't be lewd and lascivious like I got kicked off for, then because I was testing the waters. I was pushing the boundaries to see, both on the site and with the women, where those boundaries are. But I went on the dating sites to learn, to understand about dating culture in Southeast Asia, countries in Southeast Asia. And I learned a lot. And as I mentioned in the past, it was first very confusing. Both in Thailand, on the Thailand dating sites and the Filipino dating sites, they used phrases that have very different meanings in at least the US, which is my home country. Women would write, and I've said this in the past, and I'm sorry if you've heard it before, I'm not looking for fun. Well, fun means sex, and it took me the longest time to realize that that's what it meant. I thought it meant fun, enjoyment, entertainment. Let's go out and tobogganing because that's fun. No, it doesn't mean that. It means sex. And I'm open-minded. Okay, if they use fun and open-minded and naughty, they're freelancers or they're cam girls. If their boobs are spilling out in front of their breasts, in front of their chest, they're probably freelancers. If you have any thought that they might be freelancers, they probably are. On the Thailand dating sites, a lot of times they'll just come right up and say freelancer. Thank you. I'm not interested. I've never paid for sex. Not that I would put you down if you did. I'll tell you, STLT, short time, long time. Short time in Thailand, I know because they've told me ahead of time, is 1,500 baht, which I didn't do the conversion, so you can. $45, something like that. It's not, outrageous money as it is in the West. So if that's what you want, and there are reasons for that. Not every man is interested in a relationship. Some men just want company, be that social or sexual, and that's fine. So the freelancer is 1,500 baht. If you go to a bar, go-go bar or something like that, in either place, there's going to be a mama-san, and the mama-san is going to control the girls. She's the madam. So advantages and disadvantages. The advantages of getting a bar girl is likely she's clean. Mama-sans will crack a whip to that sort of stuff. They get tested. You would pay a bar fine, a short time. I don't know what the bar fines are. You can look them up. I'm sure they're online. But you pay the bar fine because you're relieving that commodity, I hate to be clinical about it, from the bar. So the bar not only makes money from girls leaving with the customers to have sex, but also when you buy lady drinks, because those lady drinks are more money than your beer will be. Often your beer will be, at cost because they know you're going to buy lady drinks, or you're going to pay the bar fine and take the woman home with you. What you pay the woman when you take her away, short time or long time, is hers as far as I know. There's no commission. Bar makes their money through the bar fine and through drinks. Perfect capitalism. So I'm not making any judgment as to what your intentions are with women. Maybe you don't want a relationship. Maybe you don't want, the relationships can be a hassle and they can take up a lot of your time. And particularly if you're used to living alone and love the single life. Well, here's a perfect and fairly inexpensive solution to that. So do that if that's what you want. It doesn't matter to me. I've been single for so long that, I have thought about it in the past, but nah. Nah. But anyway, so let's see, naughty. Naughty means sex. Fun means sex. Open-minded means sex. And when they're all together, it means a commercial transaction, be that a video cam, live or on tape. And I've seen them because women have sent them to me anyway. And one of my friends, I won't mention your name, showed me, but I don't think he paid for it either. I think he got it free. And these things are very, very, very explicit. Women, beautiful, gorgeous women doing what you might imagine to themselves, either by themselves or with various and sundry objects. That does nothing for me. That does nothing for me. First of all, porn is free. I have a VPN. Porn is free. But so why would anybody ever pay for that particular commodity? Again, not my concern. Maybe you like it. All power to you. So fun, naughty, open-minded. So just so you know those terms. And the women will say, I'm not looking for fun, and I don't want anyone rude. So don't start out by saying, I want to do this to you. I could say the words. I'm not embarrassed by that sort of talk, but it's YouTube, so they are tyrants. Because they're going to turn you off, or they're going to try to have you for a customer. Those women are fine with that. But just because they say they don't want naughtiness or explicit conversations, it doesn't mean that they don't. What it means is they don't want you to start with that. They want to get to know you. Although, to be honest, they're not really getting to know you. You're having a conversation on a website. Even if you do a video chat, which many of them freeze up at that point because in person they're so shy, regardless of what they might have said to you. But gradually, if you can start to introduce sexual subjects, and again, to gauge what a particular relationship is going to be like, be that temporary or more permanent if that's what you choose. I know what I want in a woman sexually, and I'll eventually bring that around, because there are certain things that if we're not going to do this, then it's kind of a no starter for me. I don't want frigid women. I want women who are experienced in sex and are I don't want to say experimental, and you don't care about my sexual proclivity anyway, but if you know what you want, then eventually, after you've been chatting for a while and you talked about what you want and what she wants and what you like and what she likes, and not just sex, but in various aspects of life, because many of these women also want not just your money, they want your experience. They don't have it. They don't have your worldliness, your education, your experience. And they crave that, truly. And maybe in some point when you get a real relationship, you can take them. If you live here, if you live in Thailand, you can bring them to the Philippines. You can go to Kuala Lumpur or Penang or Vietnam or Taiwan or whatever. So be careful. Use your best judgment when you're online dating. Never believe anything initially, but I guess we'll use Reagan's advice: trust but verify. That's it, I think. Robert, if there's any other questions you have, please put them. And for all of you, indeed, put any questions you have in the comments below. I love your comments. I love particularly your suggestions. And I will either answer you, as I have been, in comments as fully and thoroughly as I can. After a while, YouTube stops telling me that people comment, and so I don't go back and watch my own stuff. I already know what it's about. Same with writing, and I'll be happy to either talk to you directly in the comments or make another video if that is needed. I'll just end with talking once again about my upcoming Facebook page, Email Marketing Plus, and I will coordinate that with a YouTube channel that I already have, and start talking about affiliate marketing. Which I think is the easiest and quickest way to make money online. And again, you can have any niche you like, whether it's, survival or cowboys or, cactus or whatever. I mean, there's an audience for you. And so I'll be talking a lot about that. I'm going to give you as much information as I can. I will be offering affiliate products for you to buy. I mean, that's what this is all about. I will be eventually creating my own products for you to buy. That's what this is about. It's all about making money. Which is all about sales. Nothing shitty. I'll never promote known scammers. I'll promote mostly the people who I already know personally and I have already bought stuff from, because I can't be all things for everybody, and there are people a lot better than me. But that's in the future. I'll announce it here, and I'll probably put a link on every video if people are interested in learning about making money online. That's it, I think. Leaving in 3.5 weeks or so. Looking forward to getting back to Thailand. I crave Pad Krapow. Until then, do your best, be kind to everybody, and stay frosty.